Hey everybody, just wanted to show you a couple of purchases I made over the holiday season, late December, mostly a couple this past week in January. I've been under the weather a little bit, so haven't made a lot of videos lately, so wanted to get back out there and show what I picked up. I think I have 7 records here, and let's start jumping into this. First one I saw on Gary, Physical Format Rock and Roll, and Glenn Kellaway from the Basement. They were hyping this up, and I was already this album's been on my radar, so I knew I was going to get it. This is Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band, at the No Nukes concerts in September of 1979. Fantastic show. It's kind of legendary. I've heard about it. I'm going to get the DVD as well with the movie. With the other artists on it as well. So this is a killer set. You got Bruce here on the back looking fine. He's about 30 years old back in these days. Open it up. You got Bruce and Clarence, vintage stuff. The set list, a lot of classics from that period. We're talking Prove It All Night, Badlands, The Promised Land, The River, Sherry Darling, Thunder Road, Jungle Land, which is my favorite Bruce song of all time, Rosalita, another classic, Born to Run, Stay, and then the Detroit medley, Quarter to Three, which is a Gary U.S. Bonds cover, and Rave On, which is a Buddy Holly cover. So this is going to be exciting to listen to and then watch when I get the DVD. Glad to have this. And Springsteen always has the great packaging, too. He's got the booklet. That's why you're paying top dollar here. You got pages of stuff in here. Clarence, of course. I believe there's one with Jackson Browne and Tom Petty. Yeah, here we go. There you go. Jackson Browne, Tom Petty. Having a good time on stage. There's Bruce after the show. Exhausted, shirt off, wiped out. 4-hour show, whatever it was. This is a double album, even though it's only got 4, 7, 10, 13 songs, and he still gets to do a double album because he's lengthening them out, showcasing his talents. Here's the whole band on the cover, and that gives you a feel of what you're about to listen to. Next up, another recommendation from people in the VC. I heard Randall Nelson talk about Lucinda Williams, this particular album. Also, Glenn Kellaway thinks highly of her, and I respect those guys. So I've always heard her songwriting, but never her albums. Remember listening to Tom Petty's She's the One soundtrack, and there's a song on there called Change the Locks, and she wrote it, and I thought that was a cool song. And this is her 5th album from 1998. So I'm anxious to give this a listen. Car Wheels on a Gravel Road. It's a kind of a cool title. And had to pick that up. And that is co-produced by Roy Bittan, incidentally, of the E Street Band, who we just showed. This is the debut album of Tom Waits, another guy it's always been a curiosity of mine. I've heard songs of his here and there, and I have a few compilations of his on CD. But this is the first studio album, believe it or not, that I took a shot at and bought. So this has Old 55, his composition that the Eagles covered on their On the Border album. And I'm anxious to see how this is. Tom Waits is a curious character. I've seen him perform on the David Letterman show. He's a great interview, and he's got a lot of personality and charisma. And he's an acquired taste musically as far as that voice goes, but we'll see what happens. Another band of mine, a favorite of mine that I've liked really since my teen years is America. This is the album I bought when it came out in 1972, their debut. Solid album. The reason I'm showing this is because they re-released their next 4 albums in color vinyl. So I wanted to pick them up because I have them. They're all beat up, and I wanted to upgrade. This hasn't come out in color vinyl yet, I guess because it sells enough on its own. These other albums, their second album, Homecoming, which came out the next year. Just want to show the vinyl. They released 1,500 copies in colored vinyl. They're each numbered. This is number 591. You got the, of course, the gatefold. Double gatefold opens up. There's the band. And the album itself is on, I think it's an orange or yellow. Yeah, it's on an orange. It's on Warner Brothers. So I wanted to have that. I always liked them. The first concert I ever went to was in 1976 at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. And these guys they were hot at the time. They were a folk rock band that crossed over into pop. They had a lot of hits off of this album. Ventura Highway was the big hit. Don't Cross the River. I like the whole album. This is the stuff I grew up with, so they may not be as talented as Crosby, Stills, and Nash or some of those other artists of the day, but I always vibed with them, and I collected their stuff all the way through. This is their third album called Hat Trick. All their albums started with H back in those days. Another Warner's. Let's just look at the color on this one. This is sort of a, I don't know, burnt umber, orange, whatever. And another album that was not really a successful album as far as sales is concerned. Probably their least successful. They did not have a major hit off of this one. And but I took a shot at it. I wanted to collect these for my collection. Their fourth album, produced by George Martin of the Beatles fame, is Holiday. They went back to England and took a holiday and recorded this album. This is again Warner's. This is like a silver. This had a couple of hits. Lonely People and Tin Man were the big hits. It's got some other great songs on it as well. And then their fifth album, Hearts, which was recorded in San Francisco, of course, where they left their hearts. No pun intended, or pun intended. Here they are, the three songwriters, Jerry Beckley, Dan Peake, Dewey Bunnell, on the back, laughing, joking. Eventually, Dan Peake would leave the band for personal reasons. He got caught up in the drug lifestyle and found religion and went off and made Christian music, that type of thing. It became a duo, and they were really never as successful. This had the hit Sister Golden Hair, Daisy Jane, another silver Warner Brothers release. This one comes with a poster of the guys as well. A little bridge action, San Fran, Golden Gate. So that's where we're at in December. Nothing monumental. I just wanted to show what I've added to my collection. Glad to have all this stuff. Can't wait to listen to that Springsteen No Nuke set. That's going to be killer stuff. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.